might be slightly hungover. Yeah. Perhaps a little bit. Oh. Was it worth it? I'm gonna fall asleep again. Creating this video. It's fed. Put them out. Pee. Ain't raining yet. It's supposed to rain today. It's not raining now. Only thing out there are towels, so I don't care if they get soaking wet and then, you know, dry again in this beautiful weather we're gonna have this week. Supposedly, I believe it. Yesterday was beautiful. I was very happy. Nothing could upset me. It was upsetting only having that little bit of time with my mom, though, because I was trying to cook. I was trying to. I yet again found her missing money that she insisted. That was right where I had put it. And I knew she couldn't have gotten through that money. I was telling her. I was like, Mom, I know how much money you had. You haven't done anything. What you spend? I'm not trying to, you know, get on her case about her money and what she spent it on, but I knew that she hadn't done anything and the money couldn't be gone, and I was right. I got money out for her just in case I couldn't find the money, and I found it like that, which was awesome because I was right that, you know, it was a significant amount that was missing, and I knew that she hadn't done anything. So if I know she hasn't done anything, and I know how much money she had because I counted it when I found it that other time, then I'm going to be like, what happened to your money? I don't know. It was right there. It wasn't there. Well, you didn't look there. I know you didn't. I'm sorry. I'm not buying into your a ghost takes it and then puts it back. Okay, sorry. It worked out good because she didn't need it for anything until now, and I got out money for her just in case, and I found the money and she didn't need it. Plus, I proved I was right, that she couldn't have possibly spent that money that she said was all gone, because what the hell did she spend it? And I found it. Again, it wasn't a whole lot. It wasn't $5 or $10, though. It was a significant amount. To the point where I was like, your money's all gone. My money's all gone, Mom. Are you sure? Yeah, I'm sure. All right, I'll get you more money, but I know that you didn't spend that money on it. Very limited time. It's such limited time, and I had to tell her stuff. And no, I don't view that as getting on her case. I have to tell her important stuff. Like, I just bought her a brand new, really nice. It wasn't a cheap one. It cost like $25, something like that, $27. It's tax. Non-stick pan. Non-stick pan. You cannot put other stuff in it. In other words, you don't store it with another pan inside in it. You don't do anything. You don't use metal on it. You got to be real careful, otherwise. So I have a right to tell her that, like, Mom, you're gonna ruin your nonstick pan. You can't store anything in it. I told her nicely, but like, you know, when I go over there, it's not to have a cup of tea or, you know, it's to see how things are going and cook for her and in this instance find her missing over $30, you know what I mean, and just see how things are. And in this instance I had to tell her, you don't store your pan, you have to keep it by itself. You can't put anything else on top of it, like a saucepan she had inside the nonstick. You're going to ruin your nonstick pan. And I know you hated the old one that was, you know, cheaper than this one. She had the old one because it didn't stick anymore. Well, if you're careful with it, this pan is a different color, but it's identical to the one that I bought, and mine is still good over a year later. But I will never put anything in it. I would never, in a million years, want to drink every day. You know what I mean? Like, to be an alcoholic, you have to drink every day and want to drink every day. But I do binge drink from time to time. So that means I'm not an alcoholic, but I have a drink. I have a problem. They view anybody who binge drinks anytime as having a problem with alcohol. So many people binge drink who are not alcoholics. Remember, binge drinking is more than 5 drinks for a woman. Of course, they should differentiate from a big woman like me versus a teeny 5'2" woman, you know. They don't. They just say more than 5 drinks. Where you look in the pot, you look in your paws, or you look in your head and stuff. Drink a lot of water. Knock it off. Stop it. Stop. The devil says he's lost all faith in humanity when those nitwits ruled in the favor of the contractor that Joe said, and obviously I believe Joe. I know Joe's not lying. I know Joe's from alone was lying through his teeth. He's like, I have no faith in humanity anymore. Like I thought you already did. And he's like, it makes you think, like, why bother even trying, or why? And I'm like, you're the one who told me that you can't get ahead, and that you just, in this system of things, and you just, everything you do is just to not feed the other side, the bad side. So it's just symbolic. You're the one who told me that. I threw his own words back at him. He's like, I know. But he's not giving up. He's just going other directions, other avenues. And of course he's going to appeal. He paid his lawyer $1,000 up front. And I said, if you appeal, you're going to have to pay your lawyer more? He's like, I don't know. He's like, if I do, I might just represent myself. I could probably do a better job than him. I'm not paying my lawyer anymore, so if I have to pay him more in order to appeal, then that's just so fucked up. And this is the first time Joe's been involved in anything like that with courts and suing somebody, and he did it. He thought it was there's no way he would lose. That's how he felt. There was no way he would lose, but that the truth was on his side, pictures were on his side. The guy is just a slime ball. And his lawyer's a slime ball too. The guy's a lawyer, obviously. Joe's disgusted, but that's why I told you guys, you're messing with the wrong person when you mess with Joe. He's very articulate, he's really smart, and he's going to do all kinds of things. This was about justice for him. Of course, when you sue, you ask for a lot more than you expect to get. Okay? But the lawyer had someone go and examine. Basically, Joe believes it was already, the verdict was already, he believes it was already settled, that he believes it's fixed. He believes the verdict was already settled in these judges in the civil court, in their brains, before he even walked in. They were going to rule in favor of the contractor, and that's just wrong. That means these contractors are like mafia, and they can just do whatever they want and get away with it. And Joe is disgusted. He'll go to the press. He's disgusted. I'm disgusted. I was out in public when he told me, and I got loud. I swore. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. He's like, I believe their minds were made up before I even walked in there, Laura. He's like, I had pictures. And then the guy lied through his teeth. Okay? God lied through his teeth. And Joe had solid evidence, so he's going to contact the higher-ups where he lives and be like, who's responsible if someone gets hurt with this awful, I want it in writing, with this awful job this contractor did on my driveway and I lost even though I took him to court. Joe was trying to do the right thing, okay? And when that person, the lawyer has his own contractor like go out to, because the lawyer doesn't know if Joe's lying and just trying to get money and whatnot, and he saw like $6,000 worth of shitty things that that contractor didn't do with Joe's expensive driveway, okay? And I told all you guys this months and months ago, but I cannot believe, just like Joe could not believe they lost. Joe was just disgusted. He can't believe it because he just never thought he would lose. He knew he was in the right. He knew he was telling the truth about everything. He had pictures to back it up. The guy's a slime ball. And that's why, in the end, if Joe has to go to the press, he will. The guy's a slime ball who gets away with this kind of shit because look what happens. Somebody who goes through the process of suing loses. Who's in the right. Who was fucked over by this contractor. Oh, that's bad. That's sickening. And they don't tell you why you lose either. They don't tell you. They ruled in the favor of this slimeball contractor. Joe's gonna... That guy's gonna rue the day he fucked with Joe. It's just like anything. He recognized someone who wouldn't know, and Joe didn't know. Joe suspected. He thought, like, oh, this driveway looks good. It was done in 2 days, which he always thought was too soon. But then he found out the deal with his now his garage door won't close all the way. The guy blamed him. The guy lied through his teeth and said, I called him and asked him to keep his garage door open, and he refused to do it. That was a blatant lie. No one called. He's just a fucking slimeball. I'm disgusted. I said, Joe, you have to, you get that guy. You do whatever you can on in every direction. Contact everyone, and in the end, go to the fucking press and say, look what happens. I'm in the right. This guy lied through his teeth. They ruled in his favor, even though I had pictures and solid evidence, and which means they are biased in favor of that contractor. And Joe, of course, is going to think there's something going on there, like mafia, where they're paid off or something. He believes it because he cannot believe it, and neither can I. You just don't understand all the solid evidence Joe had, and this guy lied through his teeth. And remember, he didn't even deign to contact Joe over the small thing, okay? He didn't deign to call him until Joe hires a lawyer, and then Joe tried to settle it, civilly or whatnot. The guy wouldn't even talk to him until he wouldn't even return his calls. That makes him a slime ball. Again, Joe is very articulate, okay? Joe writes comments out online on time to time and shares them with me. He knows his stuff, alright? And the guy's a fucking prick. The guy's a prick. He is a fucking prick who didn't even have the common courtesy to contact Joe when Joe repeatedly called him. Joe gave him the benefit out because I'm in Joe's life. So Joe said, I said, you didn't reach me to get back to you? It's like, no, but maybe he's on vacation. But weeks went by and Joe's like, I'm going to sue him. He's not going to get back to me over this. I'm going to sue him. So in the meantime, his neighbor, just out of the blue, across the street says, your driveway is horrible. I just want to let you know. I didn't want to butt in, but I have to let you know that. That guy did a horrible job, and Joe was suspecting things. And when Joe first saw his driveway that went out to the street and just drops down, when there's not a sidewalk around there, now his driveway was extended out to the street. His old driveway didn't do that. And he's afraid kids might get hurt, and who's responsible if kids get hurt on his property that the guy extended out to public property, which is it's sickening that these judges ruled in this guy's favor. Oh my God. I hope Joe gets justice somehow in the end. Even if it's not monetary, I hope he somehow gets vindication. It's just sick. I didn't listen to the news yesterday. Anyhow, yeah. Joe's disgusted. But he's not giving up. He's going to appeal, but he's not just going to appeal. He's contacting the head of his city, and and the guy in court was like, oh, I do this all the time, and that's what they had said to Joe, and that's bullshit. You extend my private you extend people's private. Joe doesn't believe it. He thinks that they just fucked up, and they did a shitty job, and now they get away with it, so. Joe can't imagine what's going on. It's either something where this guy really is, or his family is a part of the mafia, some kind of mafia or whatever, where these people are paid off, and they're always going to vote in the favor of the contractor. Or, I mean, because I said, why? I understand, again, when police are in cahoots with DAs, or in cahoots with judges, or in cahoots with that, like that judge's daughter who's a, stopped for a DUI, and then it was asked to remove stuff from her record, and, I told you about that, but I'm just saying that. But a stupid person, a contractor that does driveways, is going to be in cahoots with the judges. So if any civilian, any person who pays thousands of dollars, if the contractor does a shitty job, and then this person actually takes it as far to go to court, you're going to automatically rule in the guy's favor. He's a slime ball. Joe had solid pictures. The court had the nerve to say that the person who the lawyer had, because he doesn't know if Joe's lying, Joe goes in, for all he knows, Joe's trying to get money up, but it wasn't true. And Joe didn't want to go through all this. He just wanted a good driveway in case he sells his house. He wanted, you know what I mean? He took out a loan to pay for this. And they said that the person who's a contractor for the lawyer, went out, an expert, and assessed damages to the tune of around $6,000. They said that's hearsay. Basically, what Joe's learning, this contractor gets away with doing this major job in 2 fucking days, is quick and fast, and does careless work, and Joe has no recourse. He's like, I'm not done yet, Laura. I'm like, good, I'm glad to hear it. I see, I told you, and you don't believe me. This world's full of Satanists. And Satanists doesn't mean you're sitting there, chanting, or the horns, or whatever. It's people's attitude that just, like this contractor. Joe's a good guy, and knew nothing about driveways, and it's just like when mechanics take advantage of women and know nothing about cars. I mean, 2020 has done undercover investigations, or Dateline, or whatever, Frontline, whatever those shows. I think there's a show called, there used to be a show, Frontline, too. You know what I mean? They do undercover, proving how certain, mostly male-dominated professions, say, like mechanics, will take advantage of women left and right, and if they think, unscrupulous, shady mechanics will do it, and they've done undercover shit to prove that. Well, this is a case where Joe had to go to work while the guy was doing, and Joe did question it, and when he questioned, well, why does my driveway extend out to public property? What happens if someone gets hurt on my driveway when it's the public, you know what I mean? He's like, and I do that all the time. That's what the guy said to him. He just was reassuring him, and then there was other shit. Joe said there was other shit. So what the guy did, he's just shady. He went there, he got his own pictures. He went on Joe's property and got pictures. But remember, the driveway was done in the nice weather. This guy went in the middle of winter, so whatever he had done wrong is covered up by the snow. And he did that too. He's just a slime ball. And they ruled in his favor. I'm disgusted. I mean, I'm disgusted with the whole thing. Joe can't believe it. He cannot believe that they ruled in that slime ball's favor. I'm disgusted. Oh, another thing Joe's going to do. He wants the names of the people that ruled in the slime ball's favor. He wants to look them up. Joe is meticulous. He's going to get to the bottom of it. He's going to find out, because he's disgusted. He is disgusted. And in the end, if all else fails, the press. He'll go to the press. I never thought that he would lose. He's not going to give up, though. He's just going to do it a different way. He was trying to do the right thing, too. He wanted to, and he's counted his. He's going to get shit in writing. He said, you can even come out. He's inviting people to come out and look at his driveway and see how it goes out to the street. And so it extends past his property line, and it actually presents a danger. He's afraid that some little kid is going to get hurt. So Joe is trying to do the right thing. So I hope that somehow he gets his justice in this, because it's not, of course it's about money too, because if the Joe also wants to have someone come out and look at the driveway and assess the value of his house. You know, he was putting in this new driveway to try to increase the value of his house in case he wanted to sell it too. I mean, but the big thing is that Joe kept harping on that guy, when Joe, even before his neighbor said anything, he noticed that, but he was concerned. And I said, how is it with your own car going down? He's like, I have to go do it carefully. But he's worried that kids might get hurt. And he cannot believe these nitwits in court, the civil court, ruled in this slimeball's favor. I can't believe it either. I told you Joe's so much on the up and up. He tried to reach the guy, and the guy never got back to him. He just blatantly ignored Joe. Joe left him more than one message, and the third one was a bit firm, and the guy still didn't get back to him because he's an asshole, arrogant motherfucker. And that's when Joe got a lawyer. He gave him a chance to discuss it, but you know, and the guy didn't even deign to get back. He's just, people like that made me puke. So I hope Joe gets his justice in the end somehow. Hi, my love. I didn't watch any news yesterday. There was no world news tonight to watch last night when I came home. I don't know if anything happened. Oh no, I did watch a speck of news. They caught that cop killer in Maine. They were right, he hadn't left me, and they caught him. He's history now. Said it's not, they have solid evidence against him, and he actually took the cruiser of the sheriff's deputy that he had killed. And then he abandoned it and went somewhere else, but they got him. They got him. Got that North Andover man who killed his ex-fiancée. They got him because somebody called in a tip who knew him or something or other. Someone called in a tip that he was all the way in California. Obviously, he was headed for Mexico. He was very close to the Mexican border. No. If we tell them here in the United States that they will extradite fugitives to here. They will, right? But I guess a lot of criminals are able to just disappear. They make it to the border of Mexico, right? You see that even in movies. They're trying to get to the Mexican border to get away. I don't know what I guess. About that little boy from Maine, from New Hampshire. Swept away by a rogue wave, walking on the beach with his mom. They found his hat like 2 miles from where he was swept away. It turned from a rescue mission, obviously, to recovery. They know he's dead, obviously. They just won't try to. They might not even find his body. It's just horrific. So the mom is just inconsolable. So she's just in a state of shock. She lives in New Hampshire, and they were on vacation in North Carolina. Experts are saying after the fact that the waves were especially aggressive on that day. They were especially know using neti pots is supposed to be really good, and they sell them, and the idea of it, though, you pour water up one nostril and it goes out the other, it creeps me out. The reason I'm bringing that up, I told you, all winter long, even just yesterday, I'm periodically coughing up yellow phlegm, alright? But I never got sick, I never developed any type of thing, or showed any other symptoms. And I'm just wondering if that can be happening where you cough up yellow phlegm, but you're not actually sick, or does it mean my body's just been constantly battling a small infection that's never gone away? You know what I mean? Or is it something where my sinuses maybe are just constantly draining into my throat? Like I said, it's not even every day I was coughing up yellow phlegm. It's periodically, once in a while. But consistently, periodically, all winter long and even just yesterday. And it's yellow phlegm. But if that means I'm sick, I didn't develop anything that became significant at all ever. I don't know. All winter. Or, I told you I feel all stuffy when I sleep in here. Could it have something to do with that? Is there a direct correlation? I don't like it, but like I told you, I didn't get sick. I was very fortunate. I didn't get sick all winter long. So that So that, I found out that album hasn't even come out yet. That was just like a single being released from the upcoming album by the lead singer, the frontman for Korn, Jonathan Davis. That's what it is that I wound up really liking a lot, if not loving. Down and I purchased that one and Devil by Shinedown off of Amazon. When I was out and about yesterday, I listened to that What It Is probably 20 times or more, and I listened to Devil by Shinedown a couple times. Oh no. American Idol's doing Disney theme tonight. Guess that hasn't changed. They've been doing Disney theme forever. How many years? And, they do a different theme every week now that they're in this key doing Disney. Oh, that's going to be funny. They're trying to challenge them. Not even remotely fond of that genre of Disney songs, but like I said, I'm invested in American Idol now, so I have to watch it anyway.